The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, is brought to you by, well, of course, you. If you want to learn more about how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/expat2020. Hey everybody, this is The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 44. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burly of BurlyMenGaming. Burly, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So, how's the weather over there in Canada right now?
It's actually been not too bad. Lately, it creeped back up for a bit for the heat, but then has kind of gone down. We've now just been having days of it'll be sunny and then just rain for a couple hours, but go back to kind of sunny.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Yeah, for us here today, it was like 30 degrees with 100% humidity because of the sun was out today. But then about 5 o'clock, the clouds rolled in and we had thunderstorms for a couple hours. So, yeah. That's the usual state of things right now. But they're saying for the forecast out here in Japan that the rainy season hopefully will be ending sometime in the middle of next week. So I'm really looking forward to that. So, yeah. So anyway, we're going to be talking about Nintendo and the Switch. Of course, the Switch OLED model that's going to be coming out. We're going to be talking about that on this episode. There's a new Robocop game that we're going to be getting. We're going to be talking about that as well as Xbox All Access and an Assassin's Creed Infinity is going to be offering live online game services. We're going to be talking about that, as well as the Sony State of Play that happened the other day. So we're going to be talking about all those things. But first, here is a message about where you can find the podcast.
Before the crew discuss what they have been playing, this episode of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, will be going to Patreon in early access for a day after recording. So if you would like to support the show and become a patron at the entry tier 1 level at $1 per month and get early access to every episode and listen ad-free along with other perks, including exclusive post-show content plus special bonus episodes, please visit patreon.com/expat2020 for further details. On Sundays each week, the podcast will be uploaded to all free podcast services, where you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, Spotify, Amazon Music, and on Expat's YouTube channel, Expat 2020 Gaming. Just download your favorite podcast app or open Spotify and search for The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a Discord called The Arena Podcast, where you can join and chat with the Arena Podcast community, and the podcast website is at expat2020.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave questions and comments as well. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena AMPGNP, as well as on Instagram at The Arena_podcast. Now, back to the show.
So Burly, let me begin by talking about what I've been playing. I'm still playing Scarlet Nexus, and of course I've been going back to Assassin's Creed for the Wrath of the Druids DLC, just continuing my quest to go from location to location, killing enemies, finding a letter, telling me to go to another location, and then going to that location, killing more enemies, then getting another letter to tell me, okay, you need to go to this location. This is where the enemy actually is that you need to kill. And then I go there and then I kill the enemy. And then it starts all over again. The never-ending cycle, it seems like. So, Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. But with all the content stuff that I've been doing this past week, I haven't had so much time to play. But that's basically what I've been doing, what I've been playing. What about you? How you been? What have you been playing and streaming this past week?
Not a lot of streaming. Had some stuff come up, but everything's all good. I tried out the Scarlet Nexus demo on PS5.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that. I had read some reports it was 3 hours, so I'm like, oh, okay. I'll stream that. Because I usually do about 3.5 hours, 3 to 3.5 hours. So I'm like, okay, I can get a good amount of content out of that.
Yeah.
Either I'm too good or people lie on the internet, which I know is a shock to people that people would lie on the internet.
Yeah.
It was only like 50 minutes.
Yeah. Wow.
So then I kind of I scrambled. So I'm like, oh, okay, because I had streamed on Canada Day Sleeping Dogs. So I'm like, okay, let's go back to this and try that. Literally tried to load my save twice. It crashed on me. So then just pulled another game just to quickly going. But then on Thursday, I tried out the Secret of Mana remake that was for PS4. Because I've never really played it or any of the Mana games. I had fun. Damn, that difficulty creeps up on you in the third area, the witch area. Because the first bit, having no problem, pretty easy. You get to that area, it's like, holy shit, this is like you're playing old school Dragon Quest. Where you've got to grind. And I apologize anyone that was watching it. Because for literally there, I spent like a half hour just grinding levels for my characters and their weapons levels just to make it through. But thankfully, we made it through, and looking forward to seeing more of the game.
Cool. All right. So let's go ahead, Burly. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. So the first bit of news dropped early in the week. Of course, the new Nintendo Switch OLED model is coming on October 8th, I think it is. So let's talk about that a little bit. And of course, we threw up a video on patreon.com/expat2020. So if you're interested in checking that out, that's exclusive for patrons. So if you're interested in becoming a patron and checking that out, please go there. And it's also up on our YouTube channel as well. So take a look at that. Now, Burly, $50 extra. So $350 for an OLED model, 7-inch screen. So little bit bigger than the Switch that's out now. That's 6.2 inches, of course. And of course, it's going to have the same chip inside as well. What do you think of this, man? Do you think this is going to sell like hotcakes?
Oh, it's going to sell like hotcakes. Let's not beat around the bush. This is Nintendo. Nintendo fans will tell you they're not going to buy it. No offense, but people will buy it. I've done it before. I'm not buying the OLED. I'm waiting for the next real upgrade. But it's going to sell like hotcakes. But I'm interested to see how much of this Nintendo can put out is the real question. Because let's say they get to they only have 3 million units worldwide.
Yeah.
And then let's not forget the common Nintendo thing of putting out a shortened stock.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how the sales number and how many of them are actually out there. And I think it was the point you brought up on that video we recorded. I think Nintendo will kill the old Switch model. They'll just say, okay, once that stock's out in stores, once it's sold, it's gone.
I'm telling you right now, in Japan out here, you're not even going to see the current model on the shelves. Once the OLED gets out, that's the only thing that's going to be on the shelves. So you're not even going to have the opportunity to buy the cheaper Switch that's already out or the OLED model. It's going to be the OLED model and the Switch Lite. Those are the two options you're going to have. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what kind of stock they have out here. But being that this is the home base for Nintendo, they're probably going to have the majority of their stock out here first. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah.
Well, it makes sense, not just because it's the home country for them to have the most stock, but as you say, it's all mobile focused out in Japan.
Yep.
And this
Handheld
upgrade,
focused, yeah. Mm-hmm.
this upgrade is not for if you play the thing docked. Let's not kid ourselves. This is if you play handheld only.
Yeah.
And I do both on my Switch, but I can't justify spending $400 because it'd be over $400 here in Canada to get a marginal upgrade just for looking nicer and a little bit bigger screen real estate and a bit better on battery life.
Right.
Because I have a launch day Switch.
Yeah. So do I. Yeah. So let me throw out a little bit more of the specs here. Of course, there's going to be a wired Ethernet port built in. Of course, up to 1080p via HDMI and TV mode. So that's the same as the Switch that's already out now. And of course, it'll have 64 gig of memory. Whereas the Switch that's out now, it's 32 gigabytes. I think that's how it is. So I mean, like I said, I mean, $50 more, it's still going to sell like hotcakes. I mean, you're playing it in handheld mode, especially out here in Japan. Yeah. And probably most people aren't even going to have an option between the current Switch and the OLED Switch when it comes out. Once that thing hits the shelves, they're only going to be pushing the OLED screen. So we shall see. But and of course it also launches with Metroid Dread. So that could be another reason for it to sell as well, getting it along with Metroid Dread. So we shall see.
But did you hear the thing? Because as they've stated, they're selling the dock, but you can only get it through Nintendo. But if you buy the dock through Nintendo, you know what you don't get? You don't get the HDMI cable or the power cable. Wow. So you better already have that. Like, I can understand the HDMI cables are cheap, and I have a crap ton of them from other things. That's fine, but here in Canada, the power cable alone, because I bought a second official Nintendo power brick, is $40 before tax.
Wow.
So it's like this dock, if you're not going to give me all the stuff that comes with it, the dock should be at a heavily reduced price. Yeah. But this is Nintendo, so we know it won't be.
Right. Yeah, we shall see. So it'll be interesting once launch comes, what the sales figures are for this. We'll be sure to keep tabs on that for sure. So, okay, Burly, on to our next story now. So, did you like the Robocop movies?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I even like the last one that was put in theaters like probably almost like 10 years ago, because I think it was 2012. Yeah.
So we're getting a new Robocop video game. So publisher Nacon pegs Robocop Rogue City for a 2023 release. This comes from Polygon.com by Michael McCorder. A new Robocop video game is in development and slated for release in 2023. Publisher Nacon announced. Is it Nacon or Nacon? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But anyway,
I am not either.
Somebody can correct me later if I'm wrong. So anyway, I'll say Nacon. So Nacon announced Tuesday during a live stream called Nacon Connect, titled Robocop Rogue City. The first-person shooter will put players in the total body prosthesis of Alex Murphy, a.k.a. Robocop, on a mission to protect Detroit. So this is interesting. I was thinking of this before the show, Burly. They should cross this game with Detroit Become Human characters. So that would be pretty interesting. But of course, that's not going to happen. So But beyond that, back to the article here, Nacon and developer Teon didn't reveal much about Robocop Rogue City, other than that it's destined for PC and unspecified consoles in a couple of years. So Rogue City will feature an original story in the franchise's universe, Nacon said in a news release. The publisher and developer are working with Studio MGM to, quote, develop an authentic Robocop game experience that is faithful to the franchise's DNA, end quote, Nacon said. So, I don't know, Burly, what do you think? We don't know much about this yet. So, I don't know what kind of, would this be in first person or third person? Or I don't know. What do you think, man?
Yeah, you're right. We do not know anything. And if you watch that trailer, it is literally, if you thought the perfect dark reveal gave you nothing, what was that? That was last year we got that, or was it earlier this year? This has it beat of giving you absolutely nothing.
Yeah, just basically the title. Yeah,
you could have. That's all you need to let us know. Hey, we have a RoboCop game. We don't have anything to show right now because it's way too early. It's like, fair enough.
Yeah,
but I would imagine first person, but maybe you can do third person.
I think they got to go third person with this game. You know, I mean, if it's a RoboCop, you want to see what RoboCop looks like. You know.
True.
So if it's in first person mode, I mean, it's just seeing the pistol. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I have no idea what this game is going to be. I mean, 2023, I don't know, man. It's probably going to be later than that. Who knows? We shall see. But
that's if it comes. And the platforms, let's be honest, it'll be the newest next gen, so like PS5, your Series X, Series S, and the most important of them all, the Atari VCS.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You don't think it's coming for that?
It might. Yeah. Who knows?
A heavily butchered version, but
yeah. Okay, Burly, let's go on. Let's move on to talk about Xbox here. So Xbox, they've been on a roll recently, man, especially with their marketing campaigns and stuff. They came out with that 90s style commercial, and Xbox All Access is what they were promoting. And basically it's a really cool service to those people that are either getting into console gaming for the first time, or they've been on the fence about whether or not to get an Xbox, especially the Series X or the Series S. So anyway, this is from Xbox.com. So choose your console with Xbox All Access. I'm going to give you a little bit of the rundown here. So for $34.99 a month, so this is in US dollars, of course, $34.99 a month for 24 months, you get the Xbox Series X and 24 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with no upfront cost, 0% APR. So with the S, the Xbox Series S, you get it for $24.99 a month for 24 months at no upfront cost. And you get 24 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate along with it as well. And the cheapest one for $22.99 a month for 24 months and no upfront cost, you get an Xbox One S console bundle, 24 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and 18-month console upgrade option included with that. So I think this is, like I was saying, I mean, they've been on a marketing roll recently, and I think this is a great deal for people that, hey, they don't have $500 upfront to throw in on a new console, and they just want to pay like month to month, and then, of course, having Game Pass Ultimate thrown in as well, for no additional fee, in a sense, for 24 months, I think that's a great deal. What do you think, man?
I think this thing's great. They have announced this last year with consoles. Little story. I actually tried doing this when I got my Series S. Mm-hmm. But because here in Canada, it's to go with a certain because it's all banked. You go through one bank, and it happens to be the one bank I left and lost all my accounts, so they don't like me, so I couldn't do it through this way. But I do like this system because I know people that don't want to sit there and save week by week to get a couple till you get a couple hundred, and then you got to buy the Game Pass on top for one. I would say fair fee. You're getting the console and your Game Pass, and you don't have to worry about Game Pass for 2 years.
Yeah,
it's like sold.
Yeah,
and it's kind of nice because you got to go through all these credit checks and stuff like that.
Right.
It kind of helps against the scalper problem.
Yeah, that's true.
And doing that.
Yeah. Participating retailers in the United States, of course, Microsoft, Best Buy, Walmart, Target, and GameStop are some of the participating retailers for that. So, and it is available in a certain amount of countries at the moment, and it will be expanding. From what I've heard here in Japan, it should be coming soon out here to Japan as well. So, another great deal for those of you that are considering getting an Xbox console. So, and to get Game Pass Ultimate for 2 years, which, of course, gives you access to the xCloud gaming service as well. So, super deal, man. Super deal. Okay, let's move on, Burly. So let's get to basically kind of our topic of the show this week. Another game, and this game is close to my heart. This series is close to my heart, as probably a lot of the fans out there know. I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. Well, it looks like Assassin's Creed could be becoming another game with service, games as a service. Anyway, let me go ahead and give you some of the details. This is some of the early reporting that came out from Bloomberg via Jason Schreier. He says here, Assassin's Creed, a video game franchise set in huge worlds where each one can take hundreds of hours to complete, is getting even bigger. A new project, which is known inside Ubisoft Entertainment SA by the code name Assassin's Creed Infinity, sets out to create a massive online platform that evolves over time, according to people familiar with its development. Whereas previous Assassin's Creed games each unfolded in specific historical settings, such as ancient Greece or Ptolemaic Egypt, Infinity will contain multiple settings with room to expand to others in the months and years following its debut, said the people who asked not to be identified discussing a project under development. Actually, it was right after it leaked, basically, they had to come out and announce it. So individual games on the platform might look and feel different, but they will all be connected. So that's from Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. What do you think, Burly? I mean, I guess my personal opinion on this is if it stays true to storytelling in a historical setting, even if you have different characters, because the Animus, of course, has kind of changed over the amount of games in the Assassin's Creed series. Now in the Animus, it doesn't have to be a family member's DNA that you're processing through the Animus. Now you can go to any other person's DNA and process that information and view those memories, those memory sequences, right? So if they play their cards right here and make it to where you go to a different person, you go to a different setting, and there's a huge story element to it, I think it can work, But if it becomes like Fortnite, where you just go into the Animus and there's like 30 people running around as assassins or whatever, I don't think that's going to work. And I mean, the current model of this games as a service, I mean, we can take as an example Avengers, and how the player base is completely dropped off of that. So, I mean, if they continue with the current model of games as a service, and I mean, EA is another example of this too, but anyway, I mean, if they continue with the current way of how they've been doing games as a service recently, this Assassin's Creed Infinity's player base would probably drop off within 3 to 6 months. And it would just probably be another failed games as a service type of situation on their hands. Anyway, what are your feelings on this?
My feelings are on this. I think they just don't want to make giant games every 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we test the waters with this?
Do you think that they'll be doing both in conjunction with each other?
No, I think they'll do Infinity, try this, see how the first year goes, because they're going to have to give it a year, because you're going to have to get people used to the concept and all that. I don't see this going well.
Yeah,
because just how the way Ubisoft has been.
Yeah.
Because
with all their internal problems and everything as well.
Well, with the internal problems, but just a matter of, because they will do this. This thing is going to be, look at the last couple Assassin's Creed games, and people are saying it's bloated, it's long, and like things get very repetitive.
Right.
That's going to happen here, and then you're going to have the things of, here, this is time savers. We'll sell you. You give us money so you can skip or progress through this faster.
Yeah.
And that's and people that want to continue on and be like, okay, I'm done let's say they do the feudal Japan era.
Yeah, like I was talking about, Meiji Japan or something like that, yeah.
That everyone wants. Right. I want to get through that so I can get to the Canada Revolution era, because I'm a Canadian and I have to say that. But you know what I'd like to see that them go, because they only did it for one game with Rogue.
Oh yeah.
Give us something with the Templar perspective.
Yeah,
because that's the thing. Like the new, like, Valhalla spoilers does nothing with that, with like Templars, because it's the Order, but they don't. You don't get.
Yeah, well, they're not the Templars yet. They're not the Templars yet. The Order of the Ancients. Yeah,
they're the Order of the Ancients, but you get nothing about them or anything, and it's like. That was one of the things I liked with Rogue, is you go from spoilers for Rogue, is you go from starting out being an assassin, seeing what one of your missions does and the destruction it causes, and then going over to the Templar side and getting that kind of viewpoint. And it's like, you could give me a good game just of me going to being as a Templar and seeing the other side of things. It doesn't have to be a giant game, and doesn't have to be like, oh my god, this is the most plot relevant thing, but just give me something, a different experience at least.
Yeah.
Because the series for a long time, I like the series too myself, but I dropped off for a while, is the series is formulaic.
Yeah. And it's a story that's hit a dead end. I mean, especially with the modern day part of the story. I mean, they really need to focus on cleaning that up, I think. But you know what, Burly, what would be interesting? It's not going to happen with this, I think, with Infinity, but imagine having a co-op type of experience with Assassin's Creed from the Assassin's perspective, and then the other player playing as the Templar. That would be really cool. So imagine like a game like It Takes Two or like A Way Out, where they have the split screen type of, co-op experience. Have like an assassin on one side and then the Templar on the other side. And, having the story kind of coincide in a certain way. I think that would be pretty cool. But, I don't think that's going to happen, of course. But, games as a service. I don't like this idea. I think it'll just drop off after a certain amount of time. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
We'll see.
I would love to see that idea.
Yeah.
And they've kind of done little things of it, because I think I can't remember if it was Assassin's Creed 3 or Assassin's Creed 4, the one multiplayer mode called Wolfpack, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Where you actually had to work as a team of getting the different targets, assassinating them, and protecting each other.
Yeah.
So you could do something like that. It doesn't make a small game. Like, not everything has to be a giant game. You give me a good budget for, in my case, in my country, $40, 30 something American, where it's a good little story, and it's a little co-op. It's something different. It's not a giant mess of a game, but it's just in a great and different experience.
Yeah. Yeah, we shall see. I mean, Assassin's Creed has had multiplayer elements before. I mean, but to make it as a huge games as a service type of game where, you're jumping in kind of like a Fortnite type of experience for Assassin's Creed. I don't know. I don't know if it'll work. We'll see. I mean, it's still years off. I mean, as they reported this is like, so early in the early stages. We probably won't see this until probably either the mid or late part of the generation, hopefully. So yeah, we'll see.
Do you think they're going to run concurrently? Do you think you're going to get an Infinity and your next main line, or do you think they'll just go all in on Infinity for the first bit?
I think what's going to happen is they're going to start with Infinity, but then they're going to have some kind of season type of situation where that season will coincide with the next big game. That's how I see it probably happening. We'll see. I mean, that's just because I don't think they're gonna discontinue making the big Assassin's Creed game once every 2 to 3 years. But I think they will, like you were saying, they'll start first with Infinity, see how it goes, and then branch it off into seasons. And then you'll have a season where a particular assassin that you're using, will coincide with the new big game that's released. I don't know. We'll see. That's just my opinion on it, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Burly, let's move on. Of course, just the other day we had another State of Play. PlayStation came out with a State of Play. And they showed off some indie titles, as well as we got more of a look at Deathloop. So first, let me go ahead and this is from Kotaku anyway. I'm just going to list off some of the from start to finish the games that they showed, and then we'll discuss what we thought of the State of Play. So anyway, first up was Moss Book 2. So Burly, I don't know if you've played Moss on VR or not. I have not. But anyway, Moss 2 is in the works. And so a new PSVR adventure. So this is interesting. I mean, I wonder if this is going to come out with PSVR 2.
That was kind of my thinking. Like it looks fine, because I remember seeing the first one. I at first thought is this like a remaster or a deluxe edition of that game? But then they were like, no, near the middle of the thing, Moss 2. I was like, oh, okay, so they're making a sequel.
Yeah. So next up, Arcadegeddon is a new hero shooter out in early access now on PS5. So from the makers of Predator, Hunting Grounds, and Friday the 13th. So this bubbly Splatoon-looking multiplayer game gets a full release on PS5 and PC in 2022, but it's in early access. Burly, this game, had some Splatoon elements to it, but the art style really looked like that one multiplayer shooter that came out earlier this year called Hyperscape. I don't know if you ever played Hyperscape, but
I didn't play Hyperscape, but I know exactly what you're meaning, because I couldn't remember the name of the game when I was thinking. I was like, didn't I see this before? Like,
it looks a lot like Hyperscape in a sense. Yeah. So I don't know. I was thinking of downloading it just to see what it looks like and try and play it, because it's in early access. I don't know. We'll see. But Anyway, next up on the list, of course, they showed more of Tribes of Midgard. You know, of course, season 1, the Wolf Saga, and I'm telling you right now, Burly, one of these seasons is going to have Kratos in it.
Yeah,
I think Kratos is going to show up in this at some point. I mean, yeah.
He'll show up season 2 or 3 whenever it gets kind of close to the next God of War to keep, just to remind people.
Yeah. So it's out on July 27th. So yeah, that's pretty soon. So we'll see how that looks and feels when it comes out, and how it's how people like it, what kind of reviews they give it and all. Next up on the list, Fist. Fist is a slick looking side scroller. So the game comes to PS5 and PS4 on September 7th. So mostly just we saw a little bit of a cinematic trailer on this. What did you think of Fist, Burly?
I think it looked okay. I'm getting confused. Was this the game where the guy would get beat up and then the age would increase?
No, that's Sifu. Yeah, that's
seafood.
Yeah. So Fist has the rabbit looking robotic arm type of.
That one. That one. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I cannot remember the names for all these.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah.
Yeah, this one actually was interesting. I'll keep my eye out on it. Just wait and see.
Yep. And another battle royale game, as if we need more battle royale games. Hunter's Arena Legends. It's a live service dress-up brawler where you fight demons and other players. It's leaving early access on PC and coming to PS4 and PS5 in August as part of PS Plus. So,
oh yay!
Yeah,
because that's what we need for our August PS Plus. This,
yeah. And then the one you were just mentioning, Burly, Sifu, and actually Sifu was delayed into 2022.
Yeah,
so it was planned to come out. It was planned to release this year, but I guess there's some issues that they have to work out, and it's been delayed to 2022. So, it's a brawler from the makers of Absolver. So, yeah. Anyway, next up on the list, Jet: The Far Shore. So this new moody sci-fi adventure from the makers of the spectacular Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery EP. It's still on track to come to PS4 and PS5 before the end of the year. This gave me No Man's Sky vibes, kind of a watered down version of No Man's Sky in a sense. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. Nothing against it. This is just not something I will pick up. This seems like I will watch someone else either stream it, YouTube videos on it, but this is not something I would ever spend money on. I can understand people that'll buy it and enjoy, have fun with it, but not my cup of tea.
Yeah. Next up, a couple of Sega games, of course. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles, comes out on October 15th on PS4 and PS5. So, pretty cool looking anime that they showed. And then also, of course, Lost Judgment is coming on, September 24th to PS4 and PS5. And Burly, this the video they showed for Lost Judgment, this has already been out in Japan for about a month now. The video they actually showed during the State of Play. So
nice. So they just dubbed it for us.
Yeah, they just cut pieces of it and then pasted it in, basically. Yeah, like the very beginning scene where you see the guy in the courtroom. Yeah, that's the beginning of the Japanese trailer that they showed over a month ago when they first announced it. Yeah. So they just copied and pasted elements and then, showed some of the gameplay. Of course, now you have some Uncharted elements where Yagami is climbing walls now, and of course different fighting techniques, as well as like Just Dance elements as well. But that was in the first game too. So this was the game of the show for me, because I love Judgment. I love playing that game from start to finish, and I'm really looking forward to playing the sequel. And in the sequel, you're going to be going from not only Kamurocho, which is the fictional name for the real life Kabukicho here in Tokyo area. You're also going to be going to Yokohama as well. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to this. What do you think, Burly? Lost Judgment.
This looks interesting to me. I'm slowly getting into the Yakuza series thanks to Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and the thing go ahead, Burly. Sorry,
I said I know I've got a while to go before I can go to before I get to Judgment. I like, because I've been told go through from start with 0 and work your way up.
You don't need to. Okay. I mean, story-wise, you don't need to. But yeah, I mean, if you want to see the improvements and all, yeah. But the thing about the Yakuza series now is it's becoming more, especially with the latest one, Like a Dragon, Yakuza 7. Yakuza 7 is becoming more turn-based when it comes to combat. Whereas Judgment follows the earlier style of combat elements. So, and Lost Judgment will be the same. So, yeah. I highly recommend it to all of you that have played Judgment or you're thinking of playing Judgment. It's a great game. The story is amazing. The main character, he's portrayed by the actor in real life, Kimura Takuya. It's an amazing game. So, Lost Judgment coming out on September 24th. And next up, of course, Death Stranding Director's Cut. Like, we need another Director's Cut. You're going to be talking later in the show here, Burly, about the Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. But now Kojima's getting on board, and he's coming out with his Director's Cut. So, it's a $10 upgrade from the PS4 version. And cross-save will be supported. So, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I saw this. I still have yet to play Death Stranding. I have it for my PC, because when I upgraded my PC last year with my graphics card, I got a copy of this.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But it seems like this director's cut seems like it's just adding all this shit that they're like, oh, now you actually have decent weapons. You can have a robot carry stuff. So it's like, okay, everyone that complained that this is just a walking sim, that of the gameplay elements, it's like, here you go. We're giving you the stuff just so you can get through the story and make it easier so you can experience it better, which is good. But it's like, at the same time, I kind of don't care. I've been told the story is really, really good, but I've been told, you're going to get to a lot of sections that are just going to be really, really low and kind of down and boring between walking and carrying stuff. I was like, if I've got to kind of do that, do I want to sit and play the game, or just load up all the cutscenes on YouTube, get the story in a 10-hour video or however much story it is, and do it that way? Because like, I'm not going to spend 10. Like, I don't know if it's spend the 10 extra bucks or whatever it costs just to make the game a bit easier on the gameplay to make it go through.
Yeah. And finally, of course, we got 9 minutes of gameplay of Deathloop, which I had, man, Burly, this game reminds me so much of Dishonored.
Yep.
A lot of the elements of the combat elements in this game are very Dishonored-like. And what's interesting about this, and of course everybody's been talking about this on the internet, that Sony's State of Play was basically an exclusive look at an Xbox game. So we got all this stuff about how this state of play went, the upside down PS5 and all that fun stuff. And, but this was the biggest, I think, thing that people were talking about on the internet was the fact that, this is going to be a PS5. It's going to be a console exclusive to Sony for a year. But then, let's be honest with each other. This game's coming to Game Pass day one after that exclusivity deal ends. I think, and it's great that PlayStation's getting this game, but like I said, it's very Dishonored-like, which isn't bad, but it's not something really unique or new, in my opinion, that we haven't already seen in games and in gameplay. What do you think, man?
Oh, I'm loving this. Like, when this first got announced, I was all in on this game. Like, I got rid of some crappy games that I'm never going to touch, and that has got paid for my pre-order, so it didn't cost me a dime. So I'm, like, really looking forward. This is heavily Dishonored. This is very, instead of kind of trying to be, like, realistic Dishonored, this is cartoon wacky Warner Brothers Dishonored.
Yeah.
I love being able to do the blink again.
Yeah.
But I like that they're doing it like as you kill. They stated in this, as you kill your targets, you're getting different abilities.
Yep.
So it's kind of cool as you taken down, because I think whatever the amount of targets, I think it was 8 or something. You're gonna get different abilities, and then they stated, because there was the whole thing, well, I've got to do this all in one life. They are like, no. You can buy a power here that gives you 2 extra death chances. So it's like, okay, they're going all in on that, and I'm liking that they're showing you with the mission there's different ways you can do it. Like at that one they were showing in this trailer, you could have sniper rifled this guy. Yeah, just killed him as he was standing and doing his speech. But no, you found this little thing, Switch, that he went down to hell or wherever and killed him. But it was like, I'm really looking forward to this. But this in a year, this is coming to Game Pass day one. So for anyone honestly,
go ahead, Burly.
Anyone that doesn't have a PS5, you can play it on Game Pass.
Yep, that's what
I've already got. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I pre-ordered the game well before Microsoft had bought Bethesda.
I see. Yeah.
So
would you have played it on PlayStation if you had already known that Xbox had bought Bethesda and that basically it was going to come to Game Pass next year?
I don't know. To be probably not, because it's just like, I know I can just wait and try the game for free, and in case there is any weird issues with the game, it gives it more time to be fixed out.
Yeah.
But I've already got the game ready, waiting for me when it releases.
Right.
This is looking so much like Dishonored 1, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So I know I'm just gonna sit and have a freaking blast, and since they have shown you there's multiple ways to do things, I'm gonna have a blast replaying missions, trying the different powers. Hopefully there's like a lot more. They said there's a lot more powers. Hopefully we get some cool, really interesting powers.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to what you have to say about this, and maybe we'll do a special episode on Extra Take when you get around to playing it, and you can give us your impressions of it. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up, Burly, we have a new segment for you on the show here. So it's called the Burlynator Topic of the Week. So the Burlynator Topic of the Week. So Burly's take on Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. So take it away, Burly. What do you want to talk about in regards to the Director's Cut for Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah. I'm going to first state this because it'll be easy to pick up anyways, but I figure I should state it nonetheless. Ghost of Tsushima was my game of last year. I really enjoyed that game. Like, one of the games I wish I could go right back into with knowing nothing of the game, go straight back into it, experience it again as a first time. I would love to do that because I just love that game so much. I'm really looking forward to the director's cut. I know there's a lot of people getting pissed off with as the cost. Yeah, I can understand that. My one little thing against it right now that I'm not happy is that if you go to pre-order on PSN, because I have a digital copy of Ghost of Tsushima, I want to go straight to the PS5 digital edition.
Yeah.
I can get the director's cut for PS4, but they haven't released the director's cut update for PS5.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Yeah.
I don't want to do one purchase and then do another. Make it one freaking purchase. You can make the PS4 version up there and put the PS5 one. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Like it's but they did. People are like, well, I know people are mad that they're making you pay for extra stuff. I get that, but they did give us a multiplayer mode for free. So, and I really did enjoy that multiplayer mode. I don't know if anyone has tried it. I highly recommend it. If you already have the game, if you enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima, try the Legends mode. You just have to download it, but it is a fun little mode, especially if you've got like a buddy of yours that you can do the voice chat. It is a lot of fun. You just sit there and do that, because I streamed that with a friend on there for like a couple hours. It was just a blast.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just worried about this additional content for Ikishima. Iki Island, of course. For people that don't know much about Japanese history, Iki Island is very close to Tsushima Island, and it was also invaded at the same time by the Mongols back in the 13th century. And it's a smaller island. I don't know where they're going to go with the story content for this DLC. I really don't. I mean, are they going to like visit some character that had something to do with Gene's past and that he has to revisit that or something? I mean, battling Mongols, other than that, what you've already done in Ghost of Tsushima, I don't know, what kind of different type of content it's going to be. I mean, yeah, you're going to be able to pet different animals, and you're going to have different types of, enemies when it comes to the Mongols. Yeah, I mean, but other than that, I mean, how's it going to be different from the main story? I mean, from what we've already done. That's what I'm a little worried about with this $30 upgrade.
I think we're gonna get. I'm just going off what I think. I think it's gonna go straight after from your ending, depending, because you had the two different endings.
Right.
Did you spoilers? did you? I figure we give it 3 times. It's more than enough. People say they didn't say anything. No, I said it 3 times.
Spoilers. Okay, even I said it. Okay, spoilers. Okay.
Yeah. At the ending, you have the option: do you kill your uncle?
Right.
So I'm wondering where, if it'll. I'm thinking it may pick up from there. Of if you go there, when you go to this island, they hear stuff about the ghost. They hear rumors and that, and then getting told, if you did kill your uncle, the ghost killed the uncle. Lord Shimura, that's the name. I was blanking on the name.
Okay.
They killed Lord Shimura, so you're going to have inhabitants on that island. Do they want to trust the ghost?
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Right.
They said we're going to get new techniques and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't think it's going to be the story for this will blow anyone away.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're kind of right on that, but I think it's just because they're just going to be like, listen, I don't want this game to actually get a sequel because I have a feeling it'll just be screwed up.
Yeah.
I think it's just, here you go, here's more extra content, some new techniques, new stuff, a new island for you to explore, some new enemy types, and just have fun.
Yeah. I was talking to Dan about this last week. In last week's episode, we were talking about director's cuts in a sense. And do you see this becoming more frequent as we're still in that kind of cross-gen time frame, whereas we're going to get more director's cuts? Like everybody's talking about, oh, we're getting a Bloodborne director's cut now, or we're getting a God of War director's cut, or, I mean, is this going to become like a thing that for the next year or so you're going to see all these old PS4 titles made into director's cuts so that Sony can make a little bit more money, squeeze a little bit more money out of the PS4 generation?
We're going to get more, but they have been around for a while. They may just not have been called director's cut. But I remember back on the PS3 days and stuff.
Yeah.
You would get the ultimate editions of games.
Right.
Dragon Age 1, I waited and wanted to try the game, but you waited a year or two after you got all the DLC and everything.
Right.
The ultimate edition of Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah, same with the PS4, the beginning of the PS4 generation. They did that too, yeah.
So that kind of stuff hasn't gone. They're just using director's cut just to make it sound better. But like in the case with Ghost of Tsushima, you're getting the director's commentary.
Right.
Like I don't know if you're getting that with Death Stranding. I cannot remember.
I don't know. Yeah. And of course, lip sync with the Japanese track is going to be improved as well. So,
okay. But I think these editions, director's cut, ultimate editions, they're here to stay. We're going to continue to get them as they sell. They're going to keep going.
Yeah,
continuing.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for that. The Burlynator topic of the week. Yeah, so thank you so much for that, Burly. All right, so now it's time to move on to our new and upcoming video game releases for the week of July 12th through 18th via Metacritic. Now, I want to make a point.
Didn't you do that last week?
Thanks, Burly. I was going to apologize to the listeners because last week with Dan and I accidentally, and then Dan brought it up after, he was so polite and he let me go ahead and he didn't stop me before, but I went ahead and I actually read the list of the games for this coming week last week, but I'm going to go ahead and do it again for the week of the 12th through the 18th, just in case those people that are listening for the first time here. So there are 3 games on the list, Burly, 3 games. The first one's called Where the Heart Leads, and it comes out on July 13th for PS5 and PS4. So it's an adventure title. So have you heard of this one? It's a new game coming out. On the kind of stormy night that can change a person's destiny, an enormous sinkhole opens in the middle of Whit Anderson's farm. Braving the rumbling thunder and the driving rain, Casey, their curious golden retriever, ventures too close to the gaping maw and tumbles in. Desperate to save her, Whit descends into the darkness and emerges in a realm beyond his imagination. In this strange world, constantly shifting like the stops and starts of a dream, Whit bears witness to the story of his life and gains the power to change it. So just think, Burly, if you had the power to change some of the things that have happened in your life, I mean, that's kind of what this story entails in a sense for the characters in it. So what do you think?
Yeah, I have heard the game of the game. It looks interesting. Will it be my game I pick up this week? You'll have to wait and see till we get through the rest of them.
which aren't too many. There's only 2 more left. So the next one is F1 2021. Comes out on July 13th for PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So the latest in the F1 racing series. And I was telling Dan last week that I'll pass on this one and I'll wait for the Forza game that's coming out in November. I think Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah.
And of course, here we go, Burly. This is one. And we did an extra take video on this. So like I was saying at the beginning of the show, you can check out patreon.com/expat2020 and check out Zelda, Skyward Sword, our comments and our impressions of what we think of this game coming to the Nintendo Switch. So, please visit patreon.com/expat2020 for further details on how you can become a patron and unlock that exclusive content that we did on the Skyward Sword HD. So for the Switch, it's releasing next week. So take to the skies, draw your sword, and experience the earliest story in the Legend of Zelda series. Join Link in his high-flying quest to save Zelda, a childhood friend who must confront her destiny. So, Burly, what do you think of this one, man? This is your pick of the week, right? Coming up.
No. F1's my pick of the week.
Shut up, Burly. Come on, man.
I wanted to draw it out for suspense and to just see. You can just imagine on YouTube or the Patreon comments. Yeah. Is this guy actually serious? No. No. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is my pick of the week. This has been a game I've been wanting to try. Like, I remember back on the Wii, because I didn't have the Motion Plus adapter. Yeah. I was like, I've got to buy the game. Then I got to buy the adapter. And I was a student at the time and I didn't have really money. So it was like, I'll just wait. So, and now in case I've got this pre-ordered, I'm really looking forward to trying this, especially since there is the multiple control scheme. So you can do this with motion. You can do this with the control, with just the buttons. So,
yeah, I'm with you on this, Burly. Where the heart leads, I think I can wait on that game. F1 2021. I'm not much of a racing gamer, so I mean, Zelda's my pick for this week. Skyward Sword HD. So that is our new and upcoming video games this week, and just 3. Just for the 12th through the 18th. I want to apologize one more time for last week's episode where I actually read these with it's like 2 weeks worth. So anyway, so next week we have 5 games on the list. So we will be talking about those next week, of course.
Oh, we're not doing them this week?
No, of course not.
Sorry.
No, I'm not going to mess up a second time, Burly, believe me. Okay. All right. So with that, before we conclude the episode, I want to let everyone know where you can find me on social media. You can find my YouTube channel for gaming content at youtube.com/expat2020gaming and at expat2020.live. My other social media links to Twitter, Instagram, the Arena Podcast Discord server, and the podcast website are at linktr.ee, which is linktr.ee/expat2020. And I'm also a live streamer and a Twitch affiliate on twitch.tv/expat2020. And I do occasional gaming and special event live streams for the podcast, as well as a supplement to the show called The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news week in review live stream. And finally, we now have a bonus series, which I've mentioned during the show, which is a part of the podcast called The Arena Extra Take, that focuses on spoiler and spoiler-free gaming reviews, game industry-related discussions, and interviews with special guests. It goes up to Patreon exclusively for patrons at patreon.com/expat2020. So please visit the site for further details. And that does it for me. But I have a couple of things, Burly, that I want to mention. But first, go ahead and tell everybody where people can find you on social media and what you're going to be playing and streaming this coming week.
You can find me at Twitter at BurlyMenGaming. You can also find me at Twitch, twitch.tv/BurlyMenGaming. You can also get my extra content, if you know what I mean, at onlyfans.com/ I'm kidding about the OnlyFans part. I was just waiting to see if you would just be like, what?
What?
and if you want some extra content that in all serious note, extra content I've done, check out our Patreon here at the Arena, because we've recorded, as Expat has said, we've recorded quite a bit of stuff. Go for that second tier. Trust me, you get a lot of bang for your buck. And if we find out you have done it, you come to my channel, you get one free We Do, which usually costs you either 100 bits or a subscription. So get more for your Patreon subscription.
Thank you so much, Burly. And yeah, I want to make a correction about what I said about the Switch video that we did of the impressions of the OLED Switch that's coming in October. Actually, that is up on YouTube. So you can check that one on YouTube, but it is also up on Patreon. But you can check that one out for free on YouTube. But the video that we did for Extra Take on the Zelda Skyward Sword HD that's coming next week, that is exclusive to patrons. So that was a preview of that. So just want to let you guys out there know about that. So yeah, just a correction there. Okay, so now a couple of notes, some housekeeping and notes I want to throw out there for all of you listeners about the show. As you know, my co-host Dan, who was my original co-host at the very beginning of the Arena and has been with us for the past 40 plus episodes. He is now very, very busy with his job in the UK with the Center for Computing History, of course, and his job is taking up a lot of his time. So now he's not going to have time to be co-hosting with me regularly here on the Arena. So he will still be coming for special episodes on occasion to be here with us. Of course, he will always be a part of the family here of the Arena, but he will not be co-hosting with me and Burly every week now. So, I just wanted to throw that out there, and I want to thank Dan because I know he's going to be listening, and he's really helped me a lot to get the podcast to where it is now, and we will always appreciate him, and he will always be a part of the family, and he will be coming on for special episodes from time to time. So I just wanted to throw that out there, and thank you so much, Dan. And the last bit is actually we're going to be having a new permanent member of the Arena joining our family starting next week. But I'm not going to tell you who that is, but I will throw a couple of hints out there for you. He's going to be starting next week with us. And I'll just say that he likes third-person shooters and he likes turn-based style games. Okay? So anyway, we're going to have a new co-host joining Burly and I next week, and stay up to date and listen to next week's episode to find out who that is. Okay? So, that's just a couple of things, some housekeeping issues that I wanted to get out there to all the listeners. We're excited for our new co-host to be joining us next week. So, yeah. All right. So, Burly, it's time for the Indie Recording Artist Spotlight for the week. So this week's Spotlight is on Above Envy. So Lou Yolin, the mastermind behind Above Envy, is an award-winning songwriter and composer whose music can be found on numerous TV shows. He has an MA in music composition from UCLA and a Bachelor of Arts in music composition from Columbia College, Chicago, combining his formal training with his Chicago punk scene roots to write songs for major label artists. For Above Envy, Lou joined forces with Chicago's Southside singer-rapper Teardrop to deliver pop with a carefree, in-your-face attitude that oozes sensuality. From the album titled Miley Virus, and the song is called Change the Mood. This has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 44. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burly of BurlyMenGaming.
Woo.
We hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out.